established a budget. I definitely recommend a budget. I calculated, I could put the list here if you want to go by it. I calculated the miles from place to place in between, put that to par of how much miles per tank I get in my gas and how much tank of gas costs for me, and figured out my gas expense. I set a budget for lodging at like $30-$40 a night to try to find something cheaper, but to plan for it being that expensive so I had enough money. And then I planned for food. I didn't want to focus on eating out or going to fast food, one, because I fucking hate fast food, and two, eating out is so expensive at sit-down restaurants when you really think about it. So I was like trying to plan for groceries per week. Granted, something that I feel like I didn't ever establish all the way was having groceries. I ended up getting an ice chest, but since it was in the summer, I kept running into the issue of the ice melting and then the water messing up my food. So I don't know all the way how to explain to you how to conquer that if you ever go about it that way. But I feel like if I sat down and made like a meal plan, keying in non-perishable items and keying in the minimal of stuff that needs to be refrigerated, it could maybe be done. I saw my uncle travels a lot for work in his car. He drives a lot for work. So she got him a thing, like this ice chest that you plug into your little cigarette lighter, and it keeps it cool, like it's powered by your cigarette lighter. So maybe it was moderately small for going for a big road trip, but I don't know if you could invest. I don't know if there is. I haven't looked it up, but like bigger ice chests that you could use, I feel like that would be perfect versus trying to get ice versus trying to drag and store a big ass ice chest. Sorry, I shouldn't be speaking when I'm changing my camera. I feel like that would be optimal. You don't have to worry about your food getting waterlogged, and it'd be awesome. I would definitely recommend non-perishable things, and I also thinking to maybe somewhat of a meal plan or somewhat of a meal idea could help, because you want to plan for protein because you're going to be, I took a lot of hikes, I was out in the sun a lot, like you want to make sure you're getting enough nutrients as far as like fruits and vegetables. Those are perishable, but you can seek out protein from beans. Oh, make sure you have water too. I always, the desert was fucking hot, like duh at Desiree, but we hit 108 degrees in Arizona. Make sure you always have water. I kept water for me, about like 2 to 4 gallons for me in case anything happened, anything. And then I kept like 2 gallons for my car in case it overheated, in case I ran out of water. And plus I'm a stickler when it comes to my windshield wipers being clean, so I always have water in my windshield wiper fluids. So I don't know how to properly do food, but I feel like it can be done if I thought about it a little bit more on the food end, because I didn't really go all the way in and thinking about the food end. But it can be done. It successfully can be done by bringing groceries for yourself and finding some way to do it. And if you know how to do it, please leave a comment below, because I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out too. And then I didn't really have the desire to get little knickknacks from the places, because I feel like in total my pictures and my videos are memories of a lifetime, and there's no reason for me to bring material things along. Granted, I did buy little trinkets here and there for my family and shot glasses for my grandmother. I tried to, from every place that I visited. As the most part, I wasn't really interested in getting little memorabilias from the places. Pictures and video and me experiencing it was enough for me. So that was my budget. My budget was gas, food, and lodging. Standard, basic. I need to double check, and I'll put a little clip of double check of me in the future. If I did this correctly is how I did it originally. I figured out how much a tank of gas would cost me at $3 maximum, which I figured most that I would run in going cross country, thinking of all the states, because at the time California was at $4 and I saw that the lowest in the country was like $1.75. So I was like, 3 is a good one to plan for. Added up all the miles that I would be taking, and then my car gets about 400 miles to the full tank. So I figured out how much a full tank of gas would cost. Then divided the total miles that I was taking by 400 to figure out how many tanks of gas I would need. Then times that, how much I would estimate as a tank of gas would cost. Put me at almost $500 for gas. Outside of that, I figured $75 a week for food if I was doing groceries, so at 2 weeks it would put me at $150. I counted how many days I would be camping for, which I'm guessing would be around 11, at putting myself between a $15 to $30 budget for camping, so that put me at $330 for a grand total of $980 that I spent on this trip that I followed to the budget. And I'm pretty sure that I found gas for cheaper, I found plenty of campsites for cheaper, and my food, it was horrible. Like, I did not even really buy any food. I don't know what I ate. I don't even remember. I mean, I know I ate. I didn't starve myself intentionally, but 980. It was almost a clean 1,000 to get across the bottom. But if you get a friend or 3 friends to go, like, this trip all of a sudden is inexpensive, you know?